Hello everyone, this is another flower that I'm going to share with others. Just seems to be giving awareness to people about how easy flowers are, where they're not so much of a hassle that you think they might be. These are canna lilies, sorry. And they start off small, but they end up tall. I've seen pictures of them being about 8 foot tall. They can be. These are the flowers that bloom out of them. Yeah. And so this is how it is. It's a bulb, just like a lily, just like a gladiolus. And what they do is you just stick it in the ground, look for the part that's already a flower, and have it come up. And you can look it up even on the package, and it tells you, how deep to go with it. So how simple is it, right? It says 2 inches, 2 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. You can grow them together or separate, because I've done both. They're very simple. You stick it in the ground. I gave it very little water, or it'd probably be taller. We have some over here. Thing is, we don't have a hose this year, because ours went bad, so we have no hose. Sorry, I'm a little wore out. It's hot weather. And here's some more right there. Go right on down. Just like the gladiolus, like I said. And it seems like the lilies too. What they do is they multiply. They make like babies. And they'll be, that's the first flower coming up this year. There'll be plenty more. Okay, so what it did was, started off with 11. Yeah, no, 12, sorry. We had 12 when we started last year. I just threw them in the onions in the ground real quick. It was very simple. And then, you got to take them out at the end of the year. Just dig it up like you're digging worms. Just dig up your onion. Basically is what it is. It's called a bulb. You dig it up and you stick it in the, there's two different kinds. There's this one and this one. And they're just beautiful. They're tropical looking. And you can bring it to Illinois and Iowa, which has no tropical plants. So that's the beauty of it. You just stick it in the ground and let it go. And this is what it looks like without water. I mean, no water. I mean, I got it in the shade here, out in the sun there. You can tell a little bit difference in the leaves. But anyway, they make babies. You dig it up. You have to dig them up just like the gladiolus. You have to dig it up and then separate the babies off from it. And there's all these videos where you wrap it up and you do all these things with it. Sorry. You do all these things with them, and you have to do that. I left the dirt on them and threw them in a clothes basket. And just stuck them in the basement where they stay nice and cool. And then I brung them up, put them in, and now instead of having 12, I think it was 11 or 12, 1 dozen, now we have 20, I think 22. So where this one was 1 last year, like this one would have been 1, and it came up 2. That's the point. And over there, there's 2 that now are 4. That's kind of the point. So it's a flower that you can just keep making them. Look how pretty that is just from a distance. It's a fluorescent reddish orangish kind of. It's just very tropical and beautiful, man. And it's so much easy work because I have seizures, so I can't do much. So I'm learning. I tried to find plants that were just simple. Started off with lilies because they are my favorite. Look how beautiful that is. It don't last forever, but I mean, makes your yard look great. You could put them in a pot. I mean, save up and get your $12, $15 big pot and just, I don't know, stick them in it. I'm sure it'll work because it's dirt. You just have to make sure it's watered really well. How hard is that? So, you know what I mean? You stick a bulb in the ground, do it the way it tells you to do, and in months later, yeah, there's one starting to grow right there. I don't know if you can see it. When you do videos, you don't know if you can see it. There we go. How beautiful that is. Alright. Well, like I said, it'll have babies, and then, but with babies, and then you separate them. And you might want to wrap those babies up in, I don't know, this is the first year I'll have any. And then, you know, I'd probably put them in some maybe paper towel, wet it, I don't know. Newspaper is what they use, some people use, but you definitely don't, need to wrap them in newspaper. You just throw them in there with a little bit of dirt on. That's what I did. I even nicked one before I planted it, and it was wet. It was like a wet potato all that time. So, alright. Well, that's a little bit about the CANNA lily. Yep. I'm not good at saying because I'm just learning about flowers myself. But if I can learn, and, you know, I'm disabled, but this doesn't take any energy. You know, it's as easy as a hosta. You know, hostas, you stick them in the ground and voila, that's why everybody has them. They look great. But anyway, I'll quit talking. Love y'all. Have a good one. God bless.